Well, we're going to see, I believe, a very unique interview now. I would like first to invite the man who is going to interview President Shimon Peres, Dr. Yossi Vardi. There are a lot to be said about him, an entrepreneur, a guru, and, you know, the best speaker all over the world. And when I look how to present President Shimon Peres, for me it's a great honor to present a leader that I really admire. And I would like to have two quotes. One from President Shimon Peres when he got the Nobel Prize in 1994, the Peace Nobel Prize, and then one from President Barack Obama. I will be short. For my earliest youth, I have known that while one is obliged to plan with care the stages of one's journey, one is entitled to dream and keep dreaming of its destination. A man may feel as old as his years, yet as young as his dreams. The law of biology do not apply to sanguine aspiration. So this is a quote from President Shimon Peres. Earlier this year, President Barack Obama awarded the highest civil award to President Peres, the Medal of Freedom, and I want to quote him as well. And he is still going on Facebook, on YouTube, connecting with young people, looking to new technologies, always facing tomorrow. Recently, he was asked, "What do you want your legacy to be?" And President Shimon Peres replied, "Well, it is too early for me to think about it." Ladies and gentlemen, please allow me to invite, in my opinion, the greatest leader of our nation, President Shimon Peres.
Thank you, Arale. We have a short time and we want to cover a number of topics, so we'll go straight to the issue, and we will start with the brain. Mr. Peres, when one look on your career, I think there is one common denominator. You always look for a new frontier and you go and try to conquer this frontier. It was in building the country, defense, industry, technology, nanotechnology. You always seek frontiers. Sometimes the frontiers were very far away. And recently you are focusing on a very close and yet very remote frontier, and this is the frontier of the brain. Why?
The world is becoming ungovernable. The present administrations, the present local administrations, national governments can hardly control economy because economy became global. It affects every government, but there is hardly government that can affect economy. So in fact, economy is ungovernable. It's global without a government, and governments without globality. The second reason is the world is ungovernable in this field of security. It's no longer the classical wars because we don't fight for land. We are competing for science, and science cannot be conquered by armies. Wisdom cannot be conquered by armies as well. So instead of the armies, we have terrorists. Terrorists are global, ungovernable. So the main points of our life became ungovernable. And I'm asking myself, who is going to secure our life? Who is going to answer the needs of the further future generations? One answer is the global companies. Shall I say a word now about the global companies later on?
No, we will get to the global. Okay,
the global companies is an alternative government based not on power but on goodwill, without armies, without police. And just to give, we have had Putin just a couple of weeks ago. I told him, look, I've been to Facebook. I met a young boy, 27 years old, Zuckerberg. He introduced a revolution greater than the one that was introduced by Lenin and Stalin. Lenin and Stalin killed 20 million Russians to impose communism. They took away the liberty, and whereas communism bankrupt. This man, without a government, without a company, just with an idea, really shaked the world from Cairo to any other place in the world. So this is a new strength, not a power. It's a powerless strength, but a strong power at the same time. So this is partly replacing the weakness of the governments, but still, who controls the evil introduction of our lives, like terror, like murder, like many other things? And who is the one that can control ourselves? We have this illustrious brain that is uncomparable to anything else. Our brain enabled us to produce artificial brains, but did not permit us to enter our own brain. We are strangers to ourselves, because apparently the brain makes the decision. It lies on our shoulders, but we are not part of the decision-making. We are being announced without knowing why, by whom, and where. And apparently there is a mechanism, there is a procedure that does the decision. We have to enter the decision-making of ourselves, to learn about ourselves, our choices in life. I shall give a simple example. I'm asking myself, when was civilization introduced? When the mirror arrived. Until then, people didn't comb their hair, didn't cut their nails. You have a mirror, everybody washes every morning, without any governments and without any dictatorship. Because if a man has a choice to be clean or unclean, he wants to be clean. If we shall know the decision-making, it's more important than all the other things that Rafi mentioned. The simple decision to choose between right and wrong, or personally, between being happy and unhappy, I'm sure almost all of the people will prefer to choose to be happy and responsible. So I foresee the new world being governed by a combination of the three. The old governments that will handle the husbandry of the state, for example, governing the money, or the of the air, frequencies of the air. This have to be governed. They will govern with legal power and police and courts. The second arm will be the global management based on goodwill, and the third layer will be our own brain that will enable us to choose between right and wrong. These three formations can really enable us to govern a world which is growing to such a large population and a complex life. This is why the brain is so important, and I do believe it's going to happen very soon, because all nations are now galloping to discover the secrets of the brain.